And I'm going to jump over here and kind of share it out. And hopefully we actually get the...
Hit it on the socials.
Where's my headphones at? All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now I got my headphones. So I'm still learning these boards.
You're getting it.
We're getting it.
We're there.
Yeah, we're getting there. All right. Welcome to another episode of the Midday BJ with Bill and Jeremiah. We've done a couple of these that didn't work because the board was not working with the software that we're using, but I think we got it fixed now, which is very nice.
Or you were trying to sabotage me and just not have me be as loud.
I was trying to sabotage you on my show, on my channel.
That tracks. That tracks.
I want this to be so unwatchable that I have to delete it. Have
you deleted all these?
Oh, I deleted the two where we couldn't hear you at all because I was like, that. No one wants to watch
I never
that.
listened back because, one, I hate listening back to myself, but was it really low?
It was so low. Like, it was like unlistenable.
And I'm even loud, too.
Yeah, and you are loud. You're very loud. You're a loud guy. All right, you want to start? Let me share this. Let me tag you.
Let's get into it. I'm aware. My whole family is loud. We're always that table at the restaurant.
Yeah, I can see that. Jeremiah show. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see you being the loud guy at the restaurant.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
I do it less now that this is my job. Like I remember in college, I'm going to retweet and talk at the same time.
Yeah.
I remember in college always having to be on at the bar or at the party or in the classroom. Like, everyone look at me, because that's the type of person I am. But like once I got a job where that's the job, I tend to do it less. Still loud. I guess it's unrelated to the volume issue that I have. But I tend to be on less than before when this was my job all the time.
Right. Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that as long as it's I think as long as you know when is a good time to be loud, when not.
I struggle.
Yeah.
I struggle from time to time.
Well, everybody's got their cross to bear.
Exactly.
So just before we started streaming, you said something about.
Oh, I need to know if I'm a dick.
Are you the asshole?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've talked about it. I've got 3 kids, a 10, 7, and 4-year-old, and the 10-year-old is a typical 10-year-old. Doesn't leaves. We have a. It's not his iPhone, but it's like my wife's old iPhone that we have on Wi-Fi, so he can do stuff at the house.
Yeah.
He leaves.
So it's basically like an iPod.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
like
he leaves that on the floor. Electronics everywhere. His room's a mess. Blah blah blah. The one rule we have is we let him go run around the neighborhood, but he has to have his little gizmo watch, which is essentially a little GPS tracker, but I can call him and text him and communicate with him.
Right.
And he's allowed to run and play in the neighborhood with his buddies. The one rule is if you leave my house, you have to have the gizmo.
Yeah.
So he didn't. He went to pull it out yesterday, and the watch band is torn up. He only has one half of it. And the other part's chewed up because is it a kid thing that they got to put everything in their mouth still at 10 years old?
I mean, that might be his thing.
Yeah.
There's definitely kids that chew on stuff weirdly.
Yeah.
And that goes way past being a baby.
He probably got that from me.
Did you know the thing that if you look at anything, you know what it feels like? Like if you were to lick it, how it would feel?
No.
Look at that screen right there. This is the screen.
Okay.
If you were to lick that, you know how that would feel.
Oh, it'd be smooth because it's a screen.
Right. But like you can actually think of like because that's how we learn stuff when we're young.
By licking it.
By licking it. Like, well, that's why babies always have stuff in their mouth.
Yeah.
So any texture, you know how that texture basically is going to feel in your mouth just by looking at it.
Because we've put it in our mouth before.
Yeah. Or we put similar things.
That's
so
science
now,
right there.
Now just think of that every time you see something, be like, I know how that feels in my mouth.
I can say that about a lot of things. So his watch band's torn up.
Mm-hmm.
So I told him, I said, a new watch band costs $10. Give me $10. And I bought him a new watch band. Am I a dick for doing that by making him pay for it at 10 years old?
I think that's brilliant. I think that's good. Like that teaches him responsibility. You're teaching him the value of $1. You're teaching him to take care of his things, even if they aren't, like because he probably $10 is a lot of money to him. I'm imagine.
I think so.
Yeah,
Well, he
at
couldn't.
10 years old.
He couldn't find his money, which is a whole nother thing.
Well,
he's like, it's in a football wallet somewhere in this room under hoodies and cups and craisins.
So he's got some organizational and stuff like that to take care of. But overall, I think that's a good lesson to teach your kids.
Okay,
because I don't think that makes you.
I think if I told my wife that, she would make me give him the $10 back. Yeah. But I don't want to.
You didn't tell her?
No, I didn't. Because she wasn't even home.
Yeah.
And it just never came. I didn't purposely hide it from her, but after telling you, I'm like, I bet she would want me to give the $10 back.
I don't give it back.
No, I'm gonna keep it. It's
he did find the wallet then.
No, there was a 10 laying on his desk.
What is this kid? Is he a drug dealer? He's just got like cash. I don't even have cash ever.
It's all birthday money.
I'd have to Venmo you.
Right? Let me Venmo you.
Let me Venmo you, Dad.
Venmo you 95 cents.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad move at all. I think it's important to teach your kids value of a dollar, to respect their belongings, and that things that do have a value, and that you should take care of your stuff. If you're giving this to him, he should know that it's important and not chew on it. That's also a good lesson to teach your kid. Don't chew on everything. Yeah, there's things you can chew on. Get him some Skull. That'll get him to
let him lick a battery.
Yeah,
that'll stop it.
Give him some stuff that you don't want to chew on, and before like they have that spray for dogs.
Yeah, where it's like a peppermint, whatever.
Put that on his new watch band.
I should,
and that way, or just put some hot sauce on it.
That was my mom's punishment when kids would talk back. She'd put hot sauce on their tongue.
Would you talk back to your parents?
No, God, no.
No, me either. Like on the Alan Cox show, we'll be talking about these situations, and Pound Cake and Mary would both talk back to their parents, and I can't believe it. Mm-mm. Like I would never do it to my dad, and like I feel like once in like a while I'd be like heated, but it was never back at them. It was just like more like yelling into the abyss.
It was an argument. Yes. Not just you being lippy.
Yeah, but I was never clapped back because my dad was scary. Yeah, like when he was mad, and it wasn't even like yelling at you scary, like intensity, like smoldering anger.
The look.
Yeah, the look.
The dad look.
Yeah, and then just the speeches and everything, and it was just the disappointment he had in you. Oh boy. Yeah, never talk back.
I know my kids know that volume when it comes out of my mouth. They know, all right, nope, we're done. We're done with this. Whatever we were doing, we're stopping dead in our tracks.
One of the things that I got to with my kids was where I would be like, I'm right there. Mm-hmm. Like, you guys don't like when I yell at you, or what they considered yelling. I didn't think it was yelling until I was actually screaming, but I'd be like, I'm about to get there. So if you do it now, I don't have to go there. Mm-hmm. And then they go, oh, okay, we don't want you to.
Yeah, I actually did that yesterday. My son had his buddies over, and they were playing in the front yard, and it just casually, I'm like, hey, clean up the Nerf guns, pick up the basketballs. It's time to, shower up and get dinner. And then, I said it a second time, and then I walked out the third time out the garage door. I was like, listen, I'm nice right now.
Yeah,
here's the final warning, and they all went and put their stuff.
Yeah,
so I think that's the new parent, because I don't like yelling at my kids.
No,
they know I can be mean.
Yeah,
or be stern. I don't even call it mean. I call it stern.
It's mean to them. It's stern to us.
Correct. And I think I'm going to work on more of giving the warning, because I think the warning now will be more effective than the yelling.
As long as the warning means the yelling's coming, and they know that, I think it works. And it also, or like again, not even yelling, but just. When you flip the switch, and
a
you
louder projection.
Mode,
How's that?
Yeah,
we like that louder projection.
When you're not, because that's just what it is. There's a nice version of saying, "Hey guys, let's clean things up, get it inside for dinner," versus it's time, like setting it down.
There's like 3 levels,
like eye contact. Like, hey, I've said it enough times. You're real deliberate about it.
You lock him in,
and then you get to like, all right, let's go.
I think I'm gonna. There's nice, little sterner. Here's the warning.
Yeah,
here's the warning. After that, game over.
I'm not saying it again.
I'll just throw your stuff away.
Yeah. Oh, that's always a good one to do.
My mom did that to my toys that I didn't pick up when I was a kid, and I was so mad because my Power Rangers Morpher was in the pile.
Oh, those are hard to get too.
She took it to Goodwill, and then my grandma took me to Goodwill 5 minutes later. And I got all like the next day she took me to
Yeah.
Goodwill and she bought all the stuff back that my mom
That's
donated.
hilarious.
So wait,
Way to undermine her.
let me I don't think, and when we were talking about not respecting things, and I think our kids, I think we even don't realize that we are walking around with $1,000 piece of equipment in our pockets at all times.
Oh yeah.
We don't value that at all.
Oh, like my
And our
girlfriend.
kids don't.
My girlfriend yesterday dropped her phone almost in the toilet, and then she's like, "It's like I threw it in the toilet." I'm like, "Don't do that." Like I'm like, "Come on, you got like I know you like to play games and stuff while you're on the toilet, but like, be a little bit." And
Now,
she's like,
see,
"Well, I'm
now-
trying to be," but I'm like, "It's also It's
I don't know.
yeah.
I need to know the ergonomics of how that worked because obviously she's not standing when she's using the toilet.
Well,
was it on the
when
turnaround?
It was when she was walking in. I didn't see it happen, but I think it like hit the seat, and then she got lucky and it went.
So she's like holding it, walking it in, and it slips out of her hand.
Yeah, and I don't see exactly how.
Because for her to be sitting there as one does on a
Right.
toilet and drop it, and it like almost go
Goes
in
through
between your legs.
That's an easy catch, though.
yeah.
That's an easy, yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
That's why I needed to know more
Yeah,
about that situation and your girlfriend on the toilet.
So, yeah, that's it. You just want to hear more about my girlfriend on the toilet.
That's my fetish, man. Girlfriends on toilets.
All right. Did you watch any of the NFL coming back this weekend?
I did.
Any thoughts on it all?
What's this whole towel thing?
What was the towel
The
thing?
the Chicago game. It's a you can't bring a towel to dampen the field in order to get a better place kick.
Yeah, that happened.
Chicago game.
Yeah. So I think that there's a few different incidents where
I've seen kickers bring towels out before.
well, they used to do crazy things. They used there's one where it was a Patriots game in the 80s, I believe, and they had a snowplow that would make sure you could see the lines.
I remember that.
Yeah, and this guy like deviates from where the line is, like the 10-yard line, so he can clear a spot for the kicker.
That's nice
So
of him.
there's things like that, and then there was
Now is that not allowed?
I mean, they can't put the snow back.
But is that a penalty in the rules?
I don't know, but they let it go then.
Okay.
They let it go then.
But he tried to dry off a spot on the field.
Yeah.
So it was easier for him to place kick. Which
Right.
I don't. Why is that a big deal? Why is that against the rules?
I don't know, but it is, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So-
silly.
It's a very silly.
Well,
rule.
so that was the big headline, and then I want to know how you feel because I know you're a staunch proponent of the opponent of the Browns now after the whole Deshaun thing.
Well,
so
I'm not-
how do you feel?
I mean, I'm just not cheering for them,
Okay.
and I know a lot of people still are.
Yeah.
I'm still from Cleveland, and
So do you celebrate the win today? Do you
I-
hate the win? Do you not care?
it's a weird feeling. It's like I'm happy that people are happy.
Yeah.
I don't feel any joy from it because I've detached myself from the team.
Okay.
And then you just go, but also being a football fan, just seeing an exciting moment like that, because I was watching Red Zone and they're jumping back and forth between these things, and they're like, so I didn't watch all of the Browns Panthers game, but I got the best parts, and you get to that part, and just as a football fan, you go, well, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Like that's a clutch moment for a kicker, a rookie to do, and so how much is on the line. You know the history of the Browns having kickers that are missing field goals, and this is the first kicker that they've drafted. So you're like, well, that was a good move.
Yeah.
Drafted that kicker.
So you're acknowledging it's a cool situation.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
Have no emotion
you
towards
can't
it.
look at that and say it's anything but.
Well, and
then it was a great game.
He beat Phil Dawson's longest kick with that kick too.
That's kind of a bummer.
The kicker goat. Although I was more of a Matt Stover fan, but I know he went to Baltimore when they went. See, okay, so I am the less more or less confrontational version of your opinion, where I don't like the whole Deshaun thing, and it makes me feel icky and gross.
Yeah,
but I just haven't taken the stand yet where I know how I want to handle it.
Right,
because I don't. That's my reaction to the whole thing.
It's a hard situation, and I think that's a lot of people's reaction.
Yeah,
and that's why I don't. If you are not into it, then don't be into it. But if you are like, hey, there's a lot more to the Browns than just this one guy. Yeah, this one decision they made. I get that too. And you're able to. I'm totally okay with that. It made me feel real gross.
Well, and where I look at it, and I'm like, am I a hypocrite? Because the Kareem Hunt thing is it's not the same parallel, but there is a parallel to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
With what happened there, and it's like, well, I kind of didn't say much about the Kareem Hunt thing. I don't know if maybe because there was more frequency with the Deshaun Watson thing.
Well, Kareem Hunt wasn't on the Browns when that happened.
Sure.
And then when the Browns signed him, he had already had a punishment and like kind of come be like, hey, I messed up.
He served his sentence.
He did his time
so
basically, and then came to the Browns.
So
versus Deshaun Watson was in the midst of all these allegations, and the Browns are like, we're trading for you, and we're giving you the most guaranteed money anyone's ever gotten in this sport, which is a very different situation.
So that was going to be my follow up, not to like put you on the spot or try to claim you're a hypocrite or whatnot, but like, so week 12, you're going to feel the same way because of what you just explained, where the fact that he had these allegations, they still went after him.
Right.
It was still in the middle of, so you don't see, you maybe become a Browns fan when they have a different quarterback for good, maybe?
I feel like it's got to be the Haslams that leave.
You think?
Yeah, I feel like, because I really don't like them.
That's the poison.
Well, I think they kind of showed their cards of who they are when it comes to, like, they claim to be these moral people, and they said they did all this background research, and all the research that they really did is said, are people going to still show up? Are they still going to watch the games? Are we still going to make money if we sign this guy? Oh, they are, because they're that diehard of a fan base. Then yeah, let's go get him.
Yeah,
it wasn't anything to do with the women, and so that was gross to me. And like I said, my problems with Haslams, with Deshaun Watson, and if he were to do something to, like when he made that half-ass apology, I was like, oh, are we heading in the right direction? And then they give him the 11 games, and he's like, I still didn't do anything wrong. I'm like, dude, you have to acknowledge you did some things wrong, man. You've done things wrong.
Do you think there's a legal angle to that for him?
There is, probably.
To not admit.
Yeah, probably. Something. But
I'm not saying it's not dirty.
Yeah.
I'm kind of stepping back, 5 miles ahead. Like, well, why would you say something like that? Either you're arrogant or it's a legal maneuver, I guess.
Right. But the thing is, you don't have to say anything at all.
No, you don't.
And so,
fun fact, if people say things about you, you don't have to say anything.
Right.
No matter what the context of the situation.
All right, let's wrap this one up because we got to do our other shows.
We have other shows to do today.
But thanks for checking out the Midday BJ with Bill and Jeremiah. Thanks for coming.